Yo, what is going on, NRW peeps? It is your boys, Glenn Lawrence, Kuya P, and Rob Medina, all in the house, and we are here giving you another review. Fellas, are you ready?
I'm ready, yo.
Definitely.
I'm ready.
Yeah. No time like the present. We are checking out 9 Days. Now, this movie is, it's about making every minute count, and that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to jump right into it. First of all, fellas, 9 Days. What were your initial thoughts of the film, and what did you think? Seeing the trailer and then going into it. Let's just gloss over real quickly what we thought of the film. Then we'll get into the characters a little bit, get into the plot, and give our final thoughts. So, Kuya P, what did you think of 9 Days?
Man, well, we actually recorded our first reactions with it with our NRW show with you and Loy. If you recall last week, when we did a kind of a reaction to it with and not knowing that it was dropping. And then at the same time, I didn't know that I had booked an interview with Ariana Ortiz, who plays Maria in the film. So it all kind of came together in that moment as we were reacting to the trailer for our show. So I was blown away. I was like, damn, this looks great. I'm excited now for this interview even more. And then, oh shit, I also have the screener. So we're going to see it. And I was blown away. And then finally watching it, I was just, as an actor, as a filmmaker, 9 Days is why I got into this business. It's, inspiring. It's motivating. It's deep. It's thoughtful. I absolutely loved it. I think it's going to be curriculum for actors going forward. I'll put it like that. As a filmmaker and as an actor, people are going to need to watch this to study and learn scenes.
I cannot disagree. Rob, what were your initial thoughts on 9 Days?
More or less the same thing. The one thing that I took away from the movie is that it definitely had a wide variety of characters, but people of color, which was what thing that stuck out for me, because it was just the color didn't matter. It was just the characters, and the leading man is a black man, but it didn't matter. He was black. He was just a man who was going through some personal issues. And then we have forgot the name. Oh, Benedict Wong. Where I knew he was British, but I think it's the first time I've ever come across a role that he's in where he has his native British accent. So I thought that was pretty interesting too. But the overall story itself, I thought was something that I really was not expecting, because I saw the trailer, kind of got an idea what was going on, but seeing the story unfold the way that it did, especially till the very end, I didn't know what to think, but that's a good thing, because it got me thinking about what they were going through, the questions that were being asked, and the journeys they were going through as well too. So I thought that was something very unique that it's still, even to this moment now, reflecting on my viewing experience, there's still some things I would like to delve into as far as the thought process of what these characters were going through and what they're presented, given the opportunity to go on and this potential journey in life, if you will. So
I will just jump in there. I echo both of your thoughts. I really enjoyed this film, and my initial thoughts were, like I said when we did our review of the trailer, Kuya P, I was like, I feel like I'm not going to understand this movie. Like I really want to watch it, but yeah. I was pleasantly surprised that I did. I could follow it. I got it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I got the undertones of it, and I really enjoyed the narrative journey that they took us on. It's one of those movies that I definitely feel like I would watch many times to kind of get deeper meanings or whatever, but it's tough. It's gripping. So I don't know how many times I could watch it, but I definitely would like to see it multiple times to just to get a little bit deeper, see little pieces that I may have missed here and there to really kind of get into it. But I really enjoyed it. So let's get into it just a little bit here. 9 Days is the story of, I guess, how would you say it? A man who is deciding whether people or entities get the chance at life. As he makes that decision, he goes through a series of questions. People have 9 days to pass the test or not test. He didn't want it to be like a test, but they have 9 days to show that they are worthy of life, which I thought was a great concept definitely haven't seen before. But in doing so, they get to watch life happen and get to make decisions based on what they see, and then whatever happens, they just make their decision. There's no right or wrong answer, but there is, because you don't get to exist if not. But you know, if you're wrong, then you don't go out of then you go out of existence. It's a great movie. It's directed and written by Edison Oda, who I think this person is going to go very far, because this is a great piece of narrative. He does a great job with the film. He does a great job with putting all the pieces together. Even the little mini set pieces that they built within the film, I thought was, you know, that just shows a lot of
very
craftsmanship in the job. Of course, Winston Duke is in there. Our homegirl Zazie Beetz is in there. Benedict Wong, Tony Hale, Jeffrey Hansen, Bill Skarsgård. Great cast, all put together extremely well. Of course, our friend that we interviewed, Ariana Ortiz, also in the film. So it was great. What did you all think of the cast? Rob, go ahead and take us away first. What did you think of the cast in this movie?
I think every single one of these actors did a really good job, especially Tony Hale, because outside of Arrested Development and his voice acting that he did on Toy Story 4, he's always kind of that goofy character. That's how I always most remember. Like I said, I haven't seen him anything of those stuff. So this movie for me was like the first time him playing a more dramatic role that I've come across that I really thought he was great in. And he definitely did have his, you know, comedic beats that we've seen him before with Arrested Development and some of his other comedy roles, I believe. But so for me, I thought he was a very interesting character. No doubt, Winston Duke was a great character. Oh, his character, I should say, which is what is it, Will or something? Is that his name?
Will.
Yeah. Will. Okay.
Yeah.
His character is the one that I connected with the most, because it's kind of weird, because when I was watching the movie, I kind of saw a lot of myself in him too, where there's some personal struggles that he was going through that were never really confronted. And I was like, yeah, I know exactly how that feels. So, you know, when he goes through his journey and he has a woman that comes in there and, you know, challenges him and doesn't do the expected answers that most people tend to give to him. And then he doesn't have, I guess he likes these certain things to be done a certain way. And then having someone not cooperate in that same capacity, I think was something that I was really intrigued with that story, because, and what I appreciated too, is that it wasn't a love story. It was just simply two different point of views, and she was challenging him by questioning his every move and his every form of question he had asked everybody else when it came to why they think they should be chosen to move on to the next phase in life, if you will. So, you know, and everyone else, I thought, in my opinion, Bill Skarsgård, what that was really good. He was kind of like the dark character of the group, if you will. I thought he was really good. And then the other guy who was an artist, his story was really the saddest one out of everybody, in my opinion, because he was the one that, you know, had a lot of potential, but for whatever reason, he kept holding back his gifts, if you will. And so he was another character that I really connected with too. So out of everybody, the two characters I connected with were the most broken ones that I thought that were the most interesting in my opinion. But overall, everyone was great.
What about you, Kuyapi? Who did you connect with, and what did you think of this cast?
Oh man, it was so fucking good, guys. Like, I absolutely loved it. And again, I connected as an actor and as a filmmaker, but as an actor, watching each one of these person's performances and just loving how they played in that role and sat in that pocket. When I spoke with Miss Ariana Ortiz, who played Maria, I mentioned to her like her discovery when she was touching the water in the shower, and just like that you could feel it read across the face, just that brilliance. And then Tony Hale that you brought up, Rob, when he wasn't selected and him begging to for a second chance, it just melted my heart, and just everything. And then Zazie, who was just her all the way throughout, and even in the end, you know, didn't change her scruples. That's who she was. And then, you know, and was left to go walk and not get that chance like Kane did. That Bill Skarsgård, he was level kill. Everybody played their role so brilliantly. And like you said, the artist, man, I was touched, man. Like there was moments I was like sad, I was excited, I was crying. Bro, yeah. I felt this movie in my soul, bro. And I was looking online to see like what other people were thinking about it. And I even made a post today, like there's not enough conversation about this film. It deserves everything. I'm glad it got its love at Sundance. I'm hoping it gets more and come award season, this I better see this as a potential awards nominee, because I'm gonna vote the fuck out of it, especially in the SAG Awards that I vote in every year, because all these actors deserve something for this. They put their foot in this shit, and bravo to Edison Oda that created all this film and these characters. And I want to work with this brother, because like it's brilliant. It's what we get into filmmaking for.
It really is, man. And I echo all those sentiments, and I feel the same way. I feel like maybe it won't get as much love because it's too close to home. Like all of us, it like touches on your very existence. And then what do? Your own mortality. You know what I mean? What in this world will you create? Have you done enough? Have you made the right choices or whatever? It touches on that. And once you start examining that, people are like, oh, I don't want to examine that so much. It made me think about it. You know, like what have I done, you know, in this world? I really love everybody in the film. Special shout out to Winston Duke, who I thought just portrayed a character who has to make this very, very tough decision. He played it to the T, played it to the max. It was cool to see him in Black Panther and all the other movies that we've seen him in, but to see him in something like this, so reserved, so like chilled and laid back, it was pretty amazing. Benedict Wong challenging him, I thought was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
They played so well together, dude.
They just go so well together. It's just that Marvel connection, man. If two actors from a Marvel movie get together, it's
and
going
think
to
about
be,
it too.
Mwah.
Zazie Beetz and Bill Skarsgard also worked together in Deadpool 2. Remember?
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I didn't know Bill was in that. Yeah, he was. But I really, really liked it. And then I guess going into kind of the plot a little bit here, what did y'all think about like Winston Duke's character being named Will? Did y'all see that as like free will? Like Will is, you know what I mean? Like deciding what you do, like what the decisions that you make or whatever. That's what I kind of got from it. And I thought that was really, really cool. And one thing that I noticed is Will, the very first thing that he's writing down, if you remember, is curiosity, right? And that's the one thing that Emma, Zazie Beetz' character, had. She had that natural curiosity. Shit. And if you go, I'm pretty sure, maybe I'm reading into it trying to be super smart, but I'm pretty sure that was the first thing he wrote about the violinist that he was watching, who he's kind of haunted by, her story. That's the first thing he was writing down about that person when he was kind of going over that and trying to review it. And that's the one thing that she had. And I feel like that's why there was so much tension between them, because she had the thing that he was most scared of, because it was the person that he felt like he failed on. I gotta see it again, man. This is a movie I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna say that right now. I'm gonna watch this over again. And like I said, it's going to be, I think, a curriculum for actors moving forward. Like there's certain films that they make actors watch and stuff like that. If you take certain classes and stuff like that, and suggest, to watch for performance. Because again, I think everybody played their part. But I all of a sudden, you just made me think. This is totally going sideways from your question, Glenn. But like that moment when Winston and when Will and Kaio, Benedict Wong's character, they're watching the violinist who's supposed to getting ready to go to the performance. They're both watching, her through her eyes, and that crash happens, and just that crushing moment when they realize that she's dead, and they both believed in the potential of this woman. Just that moment in that pocket. Just so many moments, man. That are just, and how shocked they were. Like, wow, like that. Brilliant. We didn't see that coming. And then it's just kind of interesting that all those monitors are viewing life as it happens, and they made a decision to put these people in the world, and then we figure out that there's other people who are putting people into the world too, but they made a decision to put these people into the world, and then them watching those people and then not knowing what's going to happen in their lives is amazing. Rob, how did it unfold for you? What were you thinking?
Well, so the one thing that I found unique was that we're kind of getting into a little bit of spoilers here, or no?
Yeah, hashtag spoilers, man.
Okay.
Hashtag
so
spoilers.
there's a part of the movie when you learn that that Will had lived before and had gone through.
I was just gonna ask you about that.
So
what did y'all think what his life was, and then get chosen into this role?
Right. So and that's the part, because this is a character that clearly had a lot of potential, and even Kaio, Benedict Wong's character, was like, I saw those moments where Will was so, alone. He felt, distant from everybody. And I was trying to tell him, you're not, I'm here with you, but I couldn't physically tell him because, I'm here in this position. So, in that particular moment, like that's the part where I really connected with that character. So it was like, it's something that I think not just me, but everyone goes through, where you feel like you have that isolation, and then you don't feel like someone, like I'm gonna kind of bring something personal for myself. Whenever I'd watch movies, there'd be some moments like, God damn, I wish I was there with them. I wish they could hear me.
Right.
I'm with you on that. I know what you're feeling. I've had those moments. So so watching the movie, it reminded me of those periods in my life where I was like, wow, I know exactly how that feels. So in a lot of ways, it affected me in a positive light, because I had great memories watching films. But long story short, I was just amazed that it reignited something that I had kind of forgotten all about. So, even though I said in the earlier that, I didn't know what to think of the film, I mean, it's a good thing, because there were so many mixed emotions that I have about what I had gone through and what I'd seen. And I just like, this is like my life through and through, because each one of those characters have a different aspect that I connected with, and virtually every single one of them I liked. So it's one of those rare movies, I think, that you could walk away. And if I truly do believe, if you walk away not feeling any sort of connection with the movie, you probably weren't paying attention, because this is one of those films that you have to sit through from beginning to end. And you have to really understand the journey. And it was a 2-hour movie, but for me, I think this movie paced itself very well. It could be slow at times, but I think that pace was necessary for you to see the events leading up to the next set of events. So I thought that was really helpful. So, I mean, I think that when it came to, the conclusion of the movie, that was one of the parts where I realized that, it's almost like an open book ending, but it's a really good one, I think. And I left on a positive note, at least for me, that's how I perceived it. So, there was a lot that I took away from that. So I'm kind of like reserved, because there's a lot of me that there's a lot that I want to express that I connect with, but on a personal level. But, this is something I honestly did not expect at all. Like, I was genuinely blown away, like how much, like, I haven't felt this connected to a movie, I think, in over 10 years. So that says a lot. Yeah. It says a lot. Yeah.
I feel like it definitely has that connective tissue of humanity in it. That is great. The one thing that I took away, or that I was looking at, was that moment where they're talking about who to send into the world. And it's like, Will's like, I keep sending flowers and everyone else is sending wolves. You know what I'm saying? Like he's sending like these beautiful people, but they're too soft for the world. And then they're not able to reach their potential because they're too soft for the world. And we see it in the violinist, right? We see it in the other dude who was getting bullied. He was too soft, and then he just ended up like breaking and beating the kid to death. Spoiler alert. But it's like he's sending people who are too soft. So his like natural reaction to not do that is like, I gotta send someone tough, and that's where he makes that decision. Which I like. Was it shocking to you all, the decisions?
Not really.
Well, I guess we shouldn't spoil it, right? Or are we just?
We've already spoiled a little bit, man. So
the decision to send the dude who's like, nah, I would go for the gun, or I would go after him, or I would fight. Like it's all about justice. And even when he's talking about something that's disgusting, and the thing that he thinks is disgusting is like someone committing this heinous crime, as opposed to someone pooping, or like like he's like, no, I'm sending that because I keep sending these soft people, and I want someone hard in the world to live to their full potential. That was the part that took me back. I don't know. Did you? What was the one part of the movie that you were kind of like, whoa?
Dude, there's so many moments, but like I'm with you on that. Like that balance, the different. You totally set the tone of that change in his opinion from choosing soft to a harder archetype that will last, because he didn't want to see people die. He wanted people to live in that life that he gave them. So like, I think that's what happened with Maria, Ariana Ortiz's character. Like she was so soft and wrote, I think that was a love note to him, because she was that the total difference. To me, the three characters, like you had hardcore Kane, Bill Skarsgård character, who, was the tough as nails, the love character that was Maria, and then the in between that was Emma, who was curiosity. Those were kind of like there. And Tony Hale's character was the desperation kind of guy who really didn't know, you know. So everybody kind of had their archetype. But one of the things I wanted to bring up with our time is the scene that really hit me hard was that first kind of question out the gate. You're in a chair, and next to you is your child with a noose around the neck. What do you do? Like, those moments like hit so hard, and just when he was asking these questions to all these candidates was like, fuck, that was just so crazy and difficult. How would you react in that situation is what I wanted to ask you, gentlemen. And then also at the very last question, when you weren't selected and you have to write on that sheet of paper to Will what memory you'd like to just kind of stay in, because I guess they're about to go in limbo because they weren't chosen. What would have you written down on that sheet of paper as your last send-off to be that one last happy moment, man? I know it's mad difficult, but like, I don't know for myself. Like, I was thinking about these questions, you know, we were all questioning ourselves and our reality and the world, man. That shit just hit me in so many different ways. And those what really sat with me. What am I writing now in my life? If I get to choose my heaven place, you know, where would I want to be? And what would that be? And then in that situation, I would have, you know, like I said, if you're in that chair, the guy's gonna kill everybody, or you're gonna save the one kid in the chair. You know, just the questions that made you sit with and think about hit so hard.
It sucked. I feel like what I would have chosen something closer to what Kane chose. You know what I'm saying? Part of me thought about it like, nah, I gotta choose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would choose my child, but then I'm like, what type of, you know, we're probably gonna, you know, die anyway, but maybe I don't know. It would be between choosing like me and my child and rushing the guard. You know what I'm saying? I think rushing the guard probably would be the move, you know, but then you kind of guarantee death for both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like you might be able to save your child, but if you save your child, then you condemn all these other people to death. That's like it's a guilty life, you know? So it's like, it's a hard choice and there's no right or wrong answer, but it like all of those answers are, you know, terrible situation. But think about it. People are born into those situations all the time. Some people have to make those choices.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
I don't know. You're right.
What about the paper? Do you know where your heaven spot would be?
Oh, you know what? I'll answer that later because the last thing we were going to talk about, I was going to talk about that.
Okay.
But so first, Rob, what's your what's your thought? What are you doing with the chair?
I would have gone for my kid. I would have gone for my kid, and I did think about, you know, rushing the guard as well too. But you know, again, it got me thinking about how I truly am as a person, like what I really would do in that situation. And the first thing is I'm going to go for my kid no matter what. But at the same time, there's a part of me that I realized there's almost, I feel like there's a part of me that would not. I would want to be as tactical as possible, but sometimes I realize that I'm not really good at making decisions right away. I have to really like consider things and look at the options. So I was like left like flabbergasted, like how slow I was going to react to that. I probably would have been shot before I came to a decision, you know, hey, hold on, I got an answer. You know, it just wouldn't have, right. I think I would have been very, very slow to react, quite truthfully, but no doubt would I go and save my kid. That would be the first and foremost thing. So, but yeah, as far as the other questions concerned for you, Kuya, honestly, if I had an opportunity to go one last thing, it would probably be the theaters. To be completely honest, I would want to go to the theaters and watch a movie and just have that experience again.
Oh, like, wow!
Watch a good one.
Watch a good movie. I want to watch 9 Days Before I Die, please. Thank you.
Okay.
Kuya P, what are you saying? What are you putting on the paper? Or wait, did you answer what you're doing in the chair situation?
Bruh, I echo both of you guys, man. I don't know what I do. I would do what would be best for all. Yeah, I'd go to save my child. I think my brain would save my child because that's everything.
Yeah.
You know, that would be its ultimate decision maker off the grip. But then I would like to think I think about it because I think we're all going to be doomed. I'd probably rush the guard and we'll both lose our lives. And I don't know. It's so difficult, man. Yeah. So difficult. But yeah, as an actor though, flipping it to the actor side, like I want to do that scene as an actor, as a
as a
so
test.
Winston Duke killed that fucking scene when he was asking, and then when he would say it, when he get like just the way he portrayed that, like it was a slow build, asking that question, and then he'd get in the face of those actors. I fucking brilliant. Winston Duke fucking killed that, man. Yeah.
I already answered it. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, damn, I would have to say the kid or whatever, but woo, that's a tough one. I'm glad I'm not in that position.
It's a hard one.
But the last thing I was going to say is, what do you think Emma wrote on the paper at the very end that made him switch up his whole demeanor? What do you think was the moment that she wrote on her paper?
I try to think about that. I don't know what it was. I'm trying to remember if I even saw something that that kind of gave some insight. I mean, obviously at the end he was looking for all the things that she'd written around the house, and I was like, so maybe she left something on that triggered that for him to start looking at all these different places that she was at, observing, the things that he was doing throughout the day. I have no idea. I think the best thing I could probably think of is that she may have repeated a line that had triggered him before and then triggered him again. That's what I can think of right now.
Kuya P, what do you think? What did she wrote?
I think what he did at the end of that speech he gave was tied to what she wrote.
I'll tell y'all what I think she wrote.
That's what I think.
Guess what I think she wrote.
What she wrote?
Now. Like what moment like she was living in the now, so she wrote now, like this moment. And that's when he went to her, he just gave her a now moment, like in this moment, like I gave you everything I am now in this moment. I think that's what she wrote. I think she wrote now.
You know what? I can't argue that.
I would love to talk to the writer or director, be like, yo, did she write now? Is now what she wrote? Because I know
you got to get him on. You know what? If I'm gonna try and work that too, man. Edson Oda, I want to holler at you. Yeah, bro.
If we figured it out, you should give us
that.
If we figured it out, you should give us the interview. Let us get the interview.
I'm gonna work it, man. I will definitely ask the amazing group that got us Ariana. So I'll holler at them. But dude, I think definitely, now could have been what she wrote, but like I think whatever she wrote was what triggered him to make that statement and that brilliant speech at the end. That again, fucking Winston Duke, bro, you are amazing.
I think you're on point with
tied to that.
Yeah, I think you're on point with that observation. I think I wouldn't surprise if that was the case. So
all right. Well, so final thoughts on the movie before we sign off, fellas, and tell them where they can find us. Final thoughts, Kuya P. What did you think?
Go see this movie, especially if you're an actor or a filmmaker. This is going to become part of an acting curriculum. I told it to Ariana. She agreed as well. Like, yeah, man, it's an actor's movie. Study these actors. It was brilliantly cast. Everybody played their part. Just super well done. It's inspiring. It's educational. I fucking love it. And I will be buying it when it comes out on Blu-ray, DVD, or digital. And check out my interview with Ariana Ortiz on the NRW, man. We had a great talk. A lot of fun.
Rob, what'd you think? Last thoughts.
I agree. I would definitely buy this movie. This movie is really worth a watch for a number of different reasons that we've already discussed before. But, the fact that you got a movie that, at least for me, that really hit home in a lot of different ways, a lot of things that I seem to have been buried for such a long time, and then it kind of just come out and just oozes, the emotions start coming out. I'm like, holy shit. Like that's why I'm not as like, hey, what's going on? I'm more reserved because there's a lot that I took away from the movie, because it was a lot of personal things that I took away from it. But overall though, the film is very good. Everyone was solid. Directing was great. The score was fantastic. The set design was, for me, it was a very near perfect movie, and I haven't seen that in quite some time. So I definitely would give this film a high recommendation. And like I said before, if you don't like the film, there's probably a good chance you won't even pay attention to it, because it really does deserve your full attention. So like I said before, I highly recommend it.
Yeah. And I will echo all of those comments. I think it was a near perfect movie as well. If it made me afraid, and it made me like happy, and you know what I mean? It just hit all the notes. It made me want to go out and do more, made me want to be more productive in life. You know what I'm saying? Like actually accomplish more in life. Like real talk, actually want to get things done after watching this movie. So it was motivating. I loved every minute of it. I would implore people, like Kuya P said, go see this movie, especially if you're an actor, if you're a director, if you're a writer, if you do any type of entertainment, if you do any type of art, go see this movie. I think it's great. So yeah, with that said, let's sign off, fellas. Tell them where they can find you. First up, Kuya P, tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, before I go, live action Soul. People need to start talking about this film. There's not enough conversation. It might have passed us if Glenn and we didn't threw up this trailer and all this kind of like happened all within a week and we fell in love with this movie. You know what I'm saying? So people do not miss out on this. Start that conversation. And I just wanted to point out that one of the things I did see was this was a live action Soul. If y'all remember, Pixar's kind of put out that Soul film.
Yeah.
It was a good kind of, I could see that being a live action Soul.
Yeah, 100%.
Brilliant film. Recommend it. You can follow me, Kuya P, at Strange Since 1977, as well as at Temple Far East, and on TikTok at The Legend Kuya P, over at the Nerds of Color, where we give you pop culture from the POC perspective. And over there is my Show Pal Show. Follow Show Pal Show. And of course, at the NRW and at New Release Wednesday, where nerds rule the world. That's me. Rob. Rob, go ahead.
You can follow me on Glenn Lawrence. No, I was kidding. You can follow me on my social media accounts on Instagram, Rob_Medina0585, on Twitter, Rob Medina0585, and on Facebook, simply just Rob Medina. And also follow my show social media accounts. You're So Cool at Rob Medina on Instagram, and on Twitter, You're So Cool WRM.
That is a lot of cool to follow Rob Medina at. And I'm Glenn Lawrence. As always, you can see me here with the other nerds ruling the world, NRW. You can also find me at levelupcomedy.com. Glenn Lawrence Laughs on your IG and your Glenn Lawrence Comedy on Twitter and Facebook. And the Blurred Out Podcast weekly. We're doing that. So that's where you can find us. And you'll find us living our lives to the fullest because we saw 9 days and we think you should too. It's just that good. Please go check out 9 days. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I would love to spend my last 9 days with all of you.
I do too.
Same, brothers. Same. Love you, man.
That's it. Signing off. Go see 9 days.
Yeah.
Let's just get it.
All right.
We're already recording, so whenever you're ready.
All right. Here we go. Yo, what is going on in NRW world? It is. Oh wait, that's a world. What is going on?